He'll paint your noose like an old man. He's got you thinking about your death and you are frightened. You can't refuse what the old man whispered to the preacher during the sermon. He's a saint to the fools of the old land, but we can see straight through the tricks that he is turning. He'll speak, but you gotta believe there's only trouble creeping through those teeth.
Hi to everyone, I'm Ada from PoisonedRock, and today we are with Lenny Bruce from Dust Bolt. So thank you, Lenny, for being with us. And first of all, could you speak a little bit about Dust Bolt for people, of course, that didn't know your band?
So Dust Bolt has quite a long history. Without having such a long history, so we're not as old as our history sounds, but we started as young kids around 13. We grew up in a small town in South Germany, and yeah, we were basically living like in the same villages and just started to make music together. So I grew up in a musician's family, so I always wanted to do music and to have a band and go out and tour and play shows. So I always dreamed of that, and then I met the other guys, and we just did it. Actually, we just started off covering songs, and we just wrote our own stuff, and we put really like a lot of work and effort into it, because all of us, we were like, okay, if we do this, we're gonna do it like properly. We're gonna do it with quality, and we're gonna put all the work and energy we got into it. So this led to a band called Dust Bolt, which released the first demo tape in 2010, then released the first album in 2012, another one in 2014, another one in 2016, and finally last one in 2019. And so we already put out a lot of stuff and music, and we toured a lot. So we toured all around Europe, the United States twice, Asia, and so yeah, we've been quite busy the last years, and Dust Bolt has always been some kind of, do-it-yourself mentality, some kind of hardcore punk influences and punk influences, because it's like somehow also like my background or where my heart is, and yeah, so that's been up the last years, and now we just had a European tour in February, and the funny thing is we came home on March 1st, and I think like 2 weeks later there was the whole lockdown.
Yeah, damn it, I know, I remember.
Good thing is, so we actually like had a tour right before this happened. We had a tour and we were out there playing live, so it was quite cool. And yeah, now it's some time to be creative again, I think.
So, yes, we were speaking about your first album. Of course, it's Violent Demolition. What could you tell about the first album?
It's funny for me now to look back. It's been probably like I wrote it 10 years ago or something. Does that make sense? No, it's probably 8 or 9. But it's funny now because I look back. It was my first try of making like metal music. I always wrote songs and did some other stuff, but that was like the first metal record we did, and we were young and naive, and we just went for it. You don't overthink too much. You just do it, and you just write the lyrics you want to write, because you don't think that anybody ever would listen to it or something. you don't think like, okay, this is gonna be released, people will hear it, people will like judge it or something. You just don't care, you just go for it, and that's how the first album sounds for me, and that's how it feels for me. It's really aggressive. I wonder like where all this like aggression came from. It's a really cool thrashy album, I guess. Yeah, it's really some intense stuff.
And what about your last one album, Trapped in Chaos?
Trapped in Chaos was the first one where I started to add a little bit more melody, because I didn't like, I'm a singer, so I don't just do metal vocals and scream. I also sing, but I never combine it into Dust Bowl. And Trapped in Chaos was the first time where we just had some heavier stuff, but also some melody in the vocals and some more groove, and we focused more on songwriting. And yeah, it just came from another, like from another position in life, from another, first one, Violent Demolition, we were like 17, 18 years old, young kids, like
teenager,
or everything that's yet to come. Like Trapped in Chaos has been, we've toured a lot before, and it's already been like, people say it sounds more adult. I don't know if this expression makes any sense, but I think you can hear that we started on Trapped in Chaos to learn about how to write songs and make them short, but get the message across. And I think that's it. Honestly, I didn't listen to it for months now. I should do again.
You should do again, because the following question is if you should for example make your own review of your own albums from the first to the last, what will you say? You are a reviewer, so just try to be objective. And let's see what is good. What is allowed.
I mean, it's always hard to I always do that as a musician when I look back on my stuff, and the problem is when I do that, I just I just hear and see the mistakes. Like I just hear like stuff, I could have done this, I could have done this better, I could have done this better. Maybe that's the reason, because you continue doing like, okay, I'm gonna do the next one, because you're always growing, you're always learning and stuff. Looking back, I mean, as I said, the first one, Violent Demolition, is really like a punky. You hear that we are young, like a band we were rehearsing in the basement of our parents, and you really hear that somehow. That's really cool.
Underground.
I love Awake the Riot, the second one. Could be, I didn't listen to it in a long time, but could be that it's my favorite looking back. That was really cool. It's a really metal album. The third one, Mass Confusion, was really influenced by, I started to listen to a lot of hardcore punk and really fast stuff, but also I became a better musician and guitar player, and I tried to mix both on Mass Confusion. So it's really there's a lot of things happening and going on this album. And Trapped in Chaos was a little bit like, from the pace getting back a little bit and being more groovy and being more simple. And so if I had to review it from my perspective now, I would say like Trapped in Chaos, it's probably got the best songs on it.
Okay. You did a good job. We did my job. We changed it for now. So, there is a particular song of Dust Bowl that represented yourself, the sound, particularly the sound of the band.
I think I would go for something like Mass Confusion maybe, or Dead Inside from the new record. Like I'd love to pick one of the new record, yeah. Or maybe there's a song called Shed My Skin on the new record, which I really like. I think this could be cool.
So it's also, I think it should be a song that you could advise to the new fans, for example. So,
yeah.
Okay. And of course, the most common question that probably everyone did it to you: you are more inspired by the Bay Area thrash metal or the Teutonical thrash metal?
Um, yeah, absolutely by the American metal. To be honest,
Okay.
yeah, I've never been too much into German metal. To be honest, I don't know why. There's like no big reason for it. I love the old Creators stuff, like
Yeah.
Extreme Aggression and some other stuff from Creator. I really loved it because it's really intense and the lyrics are good and it's political and it's got this punk attitude. I like that. But apart from that, I'm really not too much into the German Titanics thrash stuff, to be honest.
So more thrash, more Bay Area like Forbidden, band like that, Violence, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, and just just the basics as well. Just anytime you put Metallica on, I will just love it. It's just good. It's Metallica and Slayer, and it's just good stuff. It's good metal, and I've always looked into that. And when I like started to get to know everything about punk and hardcore punk and how all of that originated in the States, like together sometimes with the whole metal and the thrash thing. I went to Bad Brains and Black Flag and Million Dead Cops and stuff like that. And so the whole crossover thing, so for me it was like, wow, this is so cool. And I also skateboard, and I just like the vibe of everything. Like they were just meeting each other. There was this kind of community of guys who played heavy metal, guys who played punk.
I understand that attitude you're meaning.
Hanging around and making music together and being like.
I understand. It's like having your skateboard around. It's like a lifestyle, a way of living.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I understand it completely. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I've always been attracted to the bands from the United States.
Yeah. Of course, in California, we have a lot of. I mean, it was born there, the skateboarding with the Peralta, so... Yeah, so I know a little bit of skateboarding too. So, we were speaking about influences before, so which are the influences for Dust Bowl, in general, Dust Bowls? Not just because then we will go for you.
It's easier now for me to say that because I'm doing I'm having different projects right now, and I'm doing like different kind of music, and now it's easier to figure out for me what Dust Bowl is about. And I found out that Dust Bowl it just came naturally. I think it's our way from the guys to get rid of like negative emotions and of anger and energy that needs to go out somewhere. I think that's what's the biggest inspiration for Dust Bowl. It's just we're just the people who we are, and there's so much stuff happening around us and in the world, and so it makes I never had to think what I want to write about or something. It just happens naturally. So I'm not for any Dust Bowl album. There was no like concept or no something. It's just straight out what like I wrote on paper when it comes to lyrics, and then the music just being the thing that supports this kind of like extreme thoughts. It's extreme music, so it's extreme lyrics, extreme thoughts, and it's extreme emotions. I would say it's that. It's extreme expression of emotions. Probably.
Yes, this is of course the next question you basically answered, because I was asking to you if there is a specific topic that you write in your song or that inspired the songwriting.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is a one that you want to inspired by in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really feel close to you. You maybe want to write it about it. There is some topic in particular, or you just, like you said, wrote from. I mean, like what I'm spontaneously.
Absolutely, yeah. So I feel like I write stuff like anyway, apart from everything, because I'm a person that need to write stuff down, and I like my sheets and my books and my papers, and just to not go crazy. And so that's how Dust Bowl always has been inspired. Like
Yeah, that's
there's something that makes me mad, or there's something that drives me insane, and I need to find a way to
you just right.
yeah, I need to find a way to get it out, and then it comes
Yeah.
like
This is a good way also from gradually of being upset of that mood. You just write it down and even yourself feel better.
exactly.
Yeah. It's a way of to release stress and anxiety. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And of course now I will say me before to you for you, Lenny, your musical influences.
Wow, it's a wide range. I mean,
Get ready. We have a lot of this question like that.
yeah, that's a wide range because I grew up in a musician's family, so there was music all around us all the time and all kinds of music. So I grew up with all kinds of music being like listened in the house, being made in the house. So to make it easier, there's basically three things for me. Like I love any kind of music, any kind of genre. Honestly, I listen to everything because I'm interested in everything. But if I really like, when it comes to being influenced as a musician, there's three or maybe four things. There's of course metal, because I love the intensity and I love like the whole energy and the just the fact of going completely crazy. And you know, some people think this is like what's wrong with you if they see a metal show or something. If you're into it, you know it's so fucking cool. It's so intense.
You're right.
It's a special thing. It's just fun. It's just cool. So metal, of course, the hard stuff. Then I'm really into blues music. I'm a like I play a lot of blues on guitar. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix, and so I'm really into 60s and 70s music,
Amazing.
which is really blues influenced. And apart from that, I love the scene. Like a lot of my friends are into hardcore punk, like come from
Yeah.
a background. I like it's not my favorite kind of music, maybe, but I love how it has meaning. You know,
Yeah.
you write songs for a reason. They're like
Yeah. After yes.
political or something.
Political, just for just can say social topic.
Social, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for me with hip hop, honestly, because I love especially like old school hip hop. I love that
Yeah,
it's just
sure.
it was their express. It was some kind of punk as well. It was just real, you know. It was real expression, real anger. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
so that's what inspires me. And yeah, apart from that, I went to a jazz school for 1 year, so I played. It was some kind of punk as well. It was just real, you know. It was real, but in the end of the day, it all comes back to rock music. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Like rock music that take it all. Like
yeah,
you
I love
say.
bluesy influenced rock music, and I'm a grunge kid. I grew up with my like yeah.
With the Nirvana.
I'm an absolute grunge kid. That's when it comes to singing. That's where I love and lyrics and emotion. That's where I love grunge, and yeah, the rest is the energy of heavy metal.
Okay, so then the following question is not properly the same, but we're going to more in specific. So, you are a tour operator, okay? So you have to tell to Dust Bowl where go. If you have this chance, where will you go in the world, and which band you will bring with you in the metal scenario or punk, hardcore, whatever? It's up to you.
That's a cool question. So I would love to go to South America. We had the offer to do so, but unfortunately it didn't work with the whole. Like we were just figuring things out, and then the whole lockdown thing came. So it's now.
Yeah.
So, I would love to go there. Apart from that, I like touring in Europe, and I love touring in the United States as well. So I would go like anywhere. I would love to see more of the world, and I just love to go anywhere possible.
Yeah.
if we had to bring a band with us, yeah, usually. Okay, this is turning heavy, but I thought like I would love to go out with Power Trip again. We toured with them already, and I would have loved to go out with those guys again, but unfortunately, Riley passed away. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. So that would have been like my band to go out with those guys, and I think them Dust Bowl is a cool mixture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. And this is most similar, but you have to put more bands. A festival.
More
Which-
band.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's a festival. You are organizing. I mean,
know.
before you organizing, you are doing my job. So before you're organizing a tour, you review your album, and now you have to plan a festival. What will be like? Which will be the lineup? Could
Okay.
be 10 for bands, but all the bands you want to put it.
I would make a mixture. I love to make a mixture. I love not to pick one like specific genre and have all bands
Good.
play the same thing. I love to have diversity. So I would like. There's a band from the States which I like. Is Turnstile. They're really cool. They sound like Bad Brains. Then I would add some. Let me think.
Yeah, it is hard. You're looking to your poster around.
Yeah, like is there something? I would add something like really heavy, maybe. There's some cool bands coming up from the United States. There's one called Creeping Death, which is a death metal band, which I really like. I would love to see those guys play. And there's another like band called Judiciary. By saying that, I would absolutely want to have Obituary on the festival because I just love the music and love the guys. Then I would also have something more like maybe melodic and rocky. So how much is there? How much budget do I have? Can I add some real big?
You
headphones?
are billionaire.
I'm
that's
billionaire. Okay.
You're a billionaire. Okay.
I would add Slipknot. I would add the Foo Fighters.
Amazing. This is the first time that someone say it. Amazing.
I would
Yeah.
add the Foo Fighters. I would add all different kinds of music. I don't know. Yeah, there's a band from Austria called Mother's Cake. You know, stuff like that. More like into psychedelic rock. There's a band from the States called OCs, which I really like. I would add them. You know, trying to make some a little bit like psychedelic rock, some stoner, some heavy stuff, some real blues,
Yeah.
maybe even some I don't know, atmospheric stuff. I'm trying to think of a black metal band, but it's
Yeah, I'm also the same.
but I'm not listening too much to black metal to be honest. So but I just heard something good. I don't remember. Yeah. I would,
If you want black metal, just pick one band, and they are all the same. I don't wanna. I like black metal, but the riffs and unfortunately, this is the genre. Black metal has the same riff, the same singing. So even I don't know Marduk, you can do that, and that's fine.
yeah, absolutely.
So
I got two more names. There's a punk band from the UK now, Idols. They're called Idols. I like them. They're cool. And I would add maybe Suicidal Tendencies. And I would add
amazing.
maybe
with Robert or without trio.
sorry, once more.
With the trio or without trio?
How do you? What do you mean?
I mean,
Ah, with
suicidal
the trio?
tendencies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If we
yeah.
would play Yes Please, and if they do Infectious grooves as well, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I have to ask before. We should know if it was from the past or from the present. So, last questions about making you like going crazy about this music. Now, just 5 artists or album or song that you like most.
Whoa.
Like 5. So I just go on to counting.
Okay, Pearl Jam 10.
And I say 10 to the choice.
John Frusciante, which album? I think it's called Curtains.
You can say even the artist. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Then I go for Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Artist too.
I'll pick one Slipknot album. I love Slipknot.
Which one? This is hard because they have so many stuff that.
It's hard. I'm currently listening the last one, like the newest one, a lot because I like it. I like the drumming. It's crazy. It's really good.
Yeah, especially in live. Seeing
Maybe
live.
I'll just take the last one. Honestly, I think it's really really good.
Okay.
And I got one more. There's one more I need to take. And I'll grab one BB King record, one blues record. Just
Of course, he doesn't have to miss. So okay, you did it. So 5. Okay, so we speak about music and all these things. But of course, a huge part of Dust Bolt, as you said at the beginning, was touring. There was a moment in some touring or some gigs that you remember most. There could be funny moment or just a moment that you like it most, like for yourself that you remember that. I don't know. Even if a tour with some band.
Yeah. So we have a kind of deep relationship to Obituary because we played a couple of shows with them, and like I was talking to Donald and Sean Tardy from Obituary, and we stayed in contact. And one day I sent them, I think it was the second record, I sent it over to Donald, and he was he loved it so much that they invited us to play a European tour with them. So it was in 2015, I think, and this was like, I will always remember that because it was, touring with one of your favorite bands.
These were, they are huge.
Yeah, and
Huge.
I was looking up to the posters of a poster of Obituary for since I was a kid. And I was like in the beginning of my 20s, and we got the chance to tour through Europe with them, and it was a cool tour. It was with a band called Empire from Evil, where what's his name? I think his name is Mantas. Mantas played there from Venom.
Yeah,
So
Mantas
he
from
was
Venom.
the first guitar player from Venom, so he toured back in the days. He toured with Metallica when Metallica played support for Venom. So being on tour with these old men.
Yeah, you're the young.
It was so interesting because there was so much to learn for us and so much stories to be told. And so this tour was really, really cool, and it was really sold out and packed all the time. And we played cool venues. We played over Europe. That was cool. And 2 years later, Donald from Obituary invited us to come to the United States because he told me, I want to bring you guys to the United States. I was like, of course, for sure, but you don't expect that to happen. And one day, he called me and he was like, "Hey, you want to come over? We got this tour, Exodus, Obituary, Power Trip, and Dust Bolt."
Yeah.
And it was the first time for all of us to be in the United States, and we had this 5-week tour, playing 1,000 capacities, big venues. And
weeks is a lot for a tour.
Yeah, so it was a strong package of bands, and there we learned. Yeah, first time in America ever. First time we've been in a tour bus together with Obituary. So us and Obituary shared one bus together. So it was a really cool experience too.
Yeah. And instead of our European metal scene, what do you think about it? I don't have to say thrash metal scene in Europe or just metal scene in Europe. What do you think about it? Just maybe being more general than saying thrash.
Yeah, it's strong. It's really strong, and I think it's even getting stronger. And the cool thing is, which I love about Europe, And also about Germany is that there are so many people, there's so many festivals, there's so many small festivals.
All in Germany, all in Germany.
Yeah, I mean,
Summer Breeze as well.
there's a big business behind all that, of course.
Yeah.
And there's there's the major festivals like Wacken and the whole festivals like which are somehow made or organized or somehow stuck together with Live Nation and stuff. But the cool thing about heavy metal is, and I don't know that from any other genre, that there's so many small and like even not so small, even bigger festivals that are organized by people, by bands. And they do that not, they don't do it for money. They just do it for the reason that they love music and they love the fact of people coming together and celebrate the music. So that's something about the metal scene which is so cool, because like there's so many metal fans who try to set up something. They try to set up shows, to try to set up some small festivals. And I saw so many festivals starting like a party with 200 people, and 5 years later it's like 3,000 people, and they have like a real stage and everything, and it's
like happens for Summer Breeze, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know all the guys who run this, and it's like still the same guys who are running this, and this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I love about the metal scene in Europe.
And of course, comes naturally to ask to you if you prefer small club playing or festival.
It's different. It's both is different. I like both. So I like playing festivals, but I love going back into the small club again. Then so I love the intensity, which I love in a small club, is the intensity, and it's hot, it's sweaty, it's dark, it's the lights, it's
underground.
You really like feel every single body in the room. You somehow feel it. And the cool thing about festival is you meet so many other musicians. You get this big stages. You get to play when the sun goes down or something, which is really cool.
And if you have to give, I don't like to label a band, but if you have to say, I mean, what genre could just say we are, Dust Bowl play. I don't like to label the band, but if we want to say a genre for Dust Bowl.
I don't know. I don't think.
I think you think as me. There is this label.
As you told, of course, there was like in the beginning. We liked the fact that people were labeling it thrash metal, and we wanted it to be. But by growing older, I don't care about this. If it's called thrash or it's just for me. It's like I'm actually writing right now. We're writing on a new album coming up. And I hope to release it soon. And it's now I just go there and I just think like I just want to do metal. I just want to do hard music the way I like it. So and there's of course there's some fast stuff, but there's also groove, and there's also some really dark stuff. That's what I like personally, and I think I don't know.
Each member brings something. Each member brings their influences, so you can. This is why I don't like to label a band. At least they don't do, like I said, like metal or grindcore or whatever, because each member brings like influences. So it's like quite impossible to say if it's thrash metal or thrashcore metal. So it's just metal. That's it. Simply just music.
Yeah.
So right now, the last questions is like, of course, the future plans of Dust Bowl. Apart this COVID.
So to be honest, I guess that there's like it's gonna take a while still to play live and go out and have festivals and stuff. It's gonna take more than it's gonna take a year probably at least. So I'm currently I'm having like different projects now. But by doing that was cool because I like the last months I was doing some stuff for something else, and by doing that I realized like, okay, cool, everything that's really intense and really heavy has to go into a new Dust Bowl stuff, like a new Dust Bowl. Now I'm like sitting there and having, oh shit, there's already so many songs written which would fit perfectly. and I would love to like do them. And so I guess that we're gonna do another record, and maybe even bring it out like soon, when there's still no shows or something, because I would just love to give people, you know, if we can't go out and play shows, I would just love to give them something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
this
it's,
is the
we
best
put
way.
out some new music, and it's some, maybe it's like, you know, maybe it's a cool thing for people to get some new music and be like, okay, cool, and now
They
it's
are still
like,
there. They are still
and,
there.
yeah,
They are not.
it's
They didn't disappear. Yeah.
exactly, and now it's like, okay, now this is cool, and now it's just 6 months left until maybe there's gonna be shows again or something, you
Yeah,
know.
we really hope so, because I want to be to Summer Breeze next year. So really hope so. So I guess that I ask you basically everything. So the last things that I ask you is a message for Dust Bowl fans and PoisonedRock followers, and a special thanks to one of my friends that reached out to your band. He's a really huge fan of you. All the time he told me, check out Dust Bowl, check out Dust Bowl. His name is Domenico. He would be completely insane. He's maybe the biggest fan of Metallica ever existed in the world, but he really loves your band. So
It's cool.
yeah, leaving
Yeah,
words to you for closing.
yeah, the message is yeah, we don't disappear, and yeah, I think we all gotta, it's like a tough situation now for everybody. We gotta wait until
Yeah,
the real feeling of rock and roll is coming back again, and we can go out and watch shows and, you know, be all sweaty and headbang and let off some steam. But for that, like in the meantime, yeah, I can say something positive, that we're working on new music, and that we're gonna bring out something to make the waiting worth for everybody.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So thank you, Lenny, for this interview, daily interview. Strangely for me, it was a pleasure, and I'm glad that to see that there are young band still nowadays that has values, and not like, like they have new stuff,
Yeah.
different stuff. Because I saw people like bands like Evil Invaders that are also great, Beast, United, all these bands. I think as European, we can say that we really have good metal stuff. So I'm really, yeah. In fact, I'm just interviewing all these bands because I want to do like we interviewed the old guys. Now it's time for the
Yeah.
new bands. That the new bands, that the youngest.
Yeah.
Time for us, for being the young. Okay, so thank you so much. Stay safe, and hope to see you soon in some festival maybe.
Hope so.
Okay. Bye, Lenny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can't refuse what the old man whispered to the preacher during the sermon. He's a saint to the fool.